Hi!
We decided to spontaneously come on and do a live. So you go, you explain it.
So obviously everyone knows me. I'm Nikki Richardson. This is the lovely Jo Cox. And you know, we've just been talking about the beauty of network marketing. I didn't know Jo from Adam. Jo actually, ironically, Jo has been in my life before when I did another business, but we won't mention that.
I was in your team.
She was in my team, I know, but I didn't really know that. But basically, I did some back to basic training for the network when I was in Turkey, and Jo was one of the girls that was on there. And she reached out to me after, and we've just connected, haven't we?
Yeah.
We talk every single day. We share business tips.
Yeah. We moan sometimes about our partners.
Never, Levan, I never moan about you. Never moan about you, Levan. Obviously not. But the beauty is that we're two very different people from very different backgrounds.
And completely on the other end of the spectrum in terms of business. Like Nikki has obviously had, 17 years experience. I'm coming up to 3 years into my journey as a consultant. So, we're just kind of like, I think that complements each other quite well, doesn't it? Because I'm obviously learning loads from you, and and then your wisdom, and I think that's really important. Like, if you can find someone in the network, whether it is on your, because I'm not even on Nikki's team, like I'm not on her team, so she doesn't have to do this for me at all.
No, but I love it. You know what? And it's not all about the money. For me, when I find somebody that I connect with, that is so much more important. And she's taught me things as well. It's not just, it's a learning curve, isn't it?
So true, yeah. And I think that's what's so nice about it, is that it can complement each other really well. So it doesn't really matter. And I think this is what kind of like our friendship has shown me, that it doesn't need to be this kind of like dog eat dog and only protect your own team or whatever about that. Because for me, I think that you're going to get more out of it personally and professionally if you can help others. And regardless if you're going to make any money from it or what, that's irrelevant. And the fact that you and I are able to help each other.
Sharing is caring.
Oh, yeah,
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's just, so when I was poorly, well, when my life came tumbling down in December, was it?
Yeah.
When the whole family had COVID, this one here, honestly, she was the one that picked me up. I mean, we had that stupid makeup thing. You just picked me up. I was at the lowest of the low. And it's little things like that. It's not always business, but we do talk loads of business, obviously.
Yeah.
Because we love the business.
It is so true. Like, women empowering women. I think it's kind of like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm in my mid-40s and I'm done with playground BS. I'm not down for that anymore. I haven't got time for it. I don't want to engage in it. If you haven't got anything nice to say, or if you can't offer any words of encouragement or nice, then just zip it and just move on. And I just think this is what I like about, it's honest. And also I want to empower women, and I want to support women. And also, I've got 2 young boys, and I want to see my sons being influenced by powerful, strong, independent women. And I want to be the advocate for my boys. I want to be able to say, I want my boys to look round and go, do you know what, my mum worked really hard, and she fought for what she believed in. And I'm not saying that loads of other women don't, but what I'm saying is that for me, having sons, I want them to grow up and think that it's not dad that earns decent living, or
well, it's equal, isn't it? It's not all about just men bringing in the money. Us women, we're powerful, strong, independent women. But I think what's really nice as well, Jo, is now that you've made that jump.
Yes.
We talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
And I just told her, so basically Jo has now got this job full time. She hasn't got another job.
No.
And I just said to her, just bloody do it. Make that jump. Because if you don't make that jump, you'll never know what it could be.
It's so true. And in my first week, I've had my nails done. I've been for a run at 9 o'clock in the morning. I've had my eyebrows threaded, and on Monday I'm going for a wax. So,
but you're still working to the same.
I am still. Yeah, exactly.
Probably busier now than you were when you didn't work?
All joking aside, I think that when I was doing, because I was doing this around a 20-hour-week job, and my guilt was not feel like I couldn't respond immediately to my clients. It was really bothering me. But now that I have got this time, I'm able to connect with my clients, and I'm really be able to build on those relationships, because it's those relationships with our clients that I think are then also going to help them, support them on their journey, and then therefore help them recommend us to other swimmers potentially out there.
And you, honestly, there's so much that you can do with this job. It is, and it is work, but it's exciting work, you know, transforming people's lives, and that's what we do. We literally transform. My brain's not working. But you know, they come to us really low, with very low self-esteem. But when they leave, they're buzzing, and you just can't ask for a better job.
And I think that, you know, I started work when I was about 18 years old, and I've always been employed, working in an office, working for someone else, lining their pockets, working, you know, all hours, and not really getting anything out of it. It was an admin job, so, you know, I wasn't doing anything, you know, particularly, you know, interesting. And for the first time at the age of 45, I am doing something not only am I really passionate about, but I'm also really proud of it. And I feel like I'm actually doing something worthwhile. And I never thought that my job would have that much meaning. I just didn't think that I just thought I would be living on this hamster wheel, you know, and I feel so proud, and I want to work hard because I know that my work is going to directly benefit my family, and I've never experienced that before, ever.
I know, and honestly, and if anyone's watching this and thinks, oh, I'd love to do this, contact Jo, guys. Honestly, this job, I became a consultant back in 2006, I want to say. So I had my son, I walked out of my full-time job, very irresponsible. I was in the business travel, I wasn't in the best of place, my head wasn't right. I used to walk in, they used to chuck work at me. I was just the general dog's body, but I was in management, and I just thought, I cannot do this anymore. I don't want to work for somebody that doesn't respect me. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I fell into this job because I needed to lose weight.
Had you been a slimmer on it?
Yes. But I wasn't. So I only saw my consultant 3 times, and then I realised that I could do the job better.
Right.
So I decided that this was for me. For not only to lose the weight, but actually to have a business out of it. I didn't know what the business was going to be like. And you know, I come from a background, I lost everything. I had an ex that stole from me, so I was bankrupt, and I was pretty much in the gutter. So to be where I am now, you know, it is absolutely life-changing, this job. It's life-changing for us, but it's also life-changing for the clients as well. And when you get somebody as passionate as Jo looking after you, you know, it's incredible. And you're a brilliant team player as well. And I just know with the right team members, they're laughing. You know, your team are very lucky to have you. Very lucky to have you.
You know, I think that's it, because you know, we've all come. You know, everybody's got a story, everybody's got history, everybody's got their own reason why they want to do it, and you know, your why is what is going to, you know, it's like if you're on plan, isn't it? Your why has got to be the thing that kind of, you know, helps you to make smart choices. And I know what my why is, and my why is just to make sure that I can provide the best for my family. And we've been in really tricky situations in the past where, you know, when I met my husband, we both walked out of relationships, and we both walked out of owning our own property. And at the age of, you know, 37, 38, we had not a pot to pee in. And, you know, we've had to work really, really hard to buy a house, and I know that I need to, in order to kind of like get where I want to be, I've got to continue pushing myself, and you know, doing what I really feel is passionate for me and my family, and that is working hard. But I love it. I absolutely love it.
And I think when it's your own business, you do work harder because we're earning the money. You know, we're not earning the money for somebody else. It's just It's a cliche, but it is the best job ever.
Basically, we've just sat here having lunch and we've been talking about the plans and how we're kind of learning tips and skills and stuff from each other, and we just get so passionate about it. We just like, we need to share it. We need to genuinely share how much we enjoy being a consultant, how much we enjoy being sponsors, because it is all about paying it forward. I don't think that it would be a crime, honestly, not to share the potential of this journey as a slimmer or as a consultant, because it's just, the potential is amazing. If you want it and if you're willing to work hard for it, it's life-changing, and I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're sitting watching this now and you're sitting in a job and you're just like, I hate my job, or you want something different in your life, you know, I wouldn't recommend anyone leave their job and go straight into this. Hi, Hannah. You need to have money behind you. That would be very irresponsible, but there's nothing stopping you running it alongside the business that you work now.
Yeah.
But have it in the front of your mind that this will be your own job. I mean, I could not tell you, if somebody said to me 17 years ago I would be as successful as I am now. I mean, I'm very humble about what I have, and it is for anyone and everyone can have it. It's just the best.
And
it's just the best.
It's so true, because, like, you know, I've been a consultant for nearly 3 years. May will be 3 years, and I had this consultant. I was doing the consultant whilst I had my other part-time job, which was originally 30 hours a week, and I was doing this around the 30-hour week. Then it reduced to 20 hours a week, and I kept slowly building and chipping away at it. And then last year I got furloughed, and while the kids were being homeschooled and all that stuff, and I was homeschooled, we'll carry on talking. So it was hell. But whilst I was still furloughed and the kids went back to school, I really enjoyed that time at home. I enjoyed that time. I'd never been able to pick up the kids from school. They were in a childminder from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m, Monday to Thursday. I was never able to go and pick them up. Then all of a sudden I was furloughed, they were back at school, and I'm like, hold on a minute. If I really work hard on the one-to-one, I could possibly do this full time, still work and still pick up my kids. And I was like, right, this is the challenge. I need to be able to see my business. I need to make X amount of money, because I need to make sure that I was earning the same amount of money that my office job was earning me, because I didn't have any savings and I couldn't afford to take that risk. So I was like, right. And I gave myself 6 months to see if my business was turning over the same salary, and it did. And I was working all around it. And then when I went back to work, well, actually no, I didn't go back to work, because when the June cut off, when Boris said, right, from June the restrictions are being lifted, on the June the 21st, that was the day that all the restrictions were being lifted. So I had till May the 21st to give my 4 weeks notice, because I did not want to go back into the office. And I did, and I handed my notice in the day before my birthday, which is the 22nd of May, and I have my last working day in that office on the 17th of June, and then I've not been back.
Yeah, and you know what, I watched so many lives and I watched so many videos about empowering women who have children. They want to bring up their children. They don't want to chuck their kids into after school club. You know, we have children for a reason. You know, what's the point of having children and only seeing them an hour a night, and then they have to go to bed?
It's so expensive, and that was the other thing. It was kind of like, you know, you're not only when you're not seeing your children, like especially at the very young ages. Like if you've got like kids under 3, I don't know what like the government benefits are now, but basically, you know, if you had a kid under 3, you didn't have your 30-hour childcare. So my kids, when I went back to work, my youngest was 9 months old and my eldest was just 2 years older than that. So both of them were under 3, and I was just saying to you that my childcare was like nearly £1,100 a month just on those 2 kids. Plus we've got my stepson, so we pay child maintenance for them. So it was like over 1,500 quid a month just on childcare.
Yeah.
And it was just like I couldn't afford to go back to work.
Yeah. It's just miserable, isn't it?
Yeah, rubbish.
But it's not for us because we have the best job.
Yeah.
It is a cliche, but honestly, guys, anybody watching, if you are stuck in a rut, you know, contact Jo. Ask her about the job. Ask her about the possibilities. You do not need to give up your full-time job to run this. And then work out what you need to earn. And before you know it, you know, we do work full-time. I think it'd be wrong of us to say it's a part-time job. It's not. We're always doing things behind the scenes.
We're thinking about it, aren't you? So you're not physically doing it, but you're always thinking about it.
But because it's your own business and everything that you do will line your pockets, you're not. It's not a bind, is it?
No. And I'll be honest. But when we bought the house, my mum lent us money for the deposit, and it's only because of the one-to-one diet that I've been able to start paying her back, because there was just no way that I could afford to do it with my salary that I was earning at the time. And it's because of the one-to-one diet that I'm now able to pay my mum back that loan, which means the world to me, because I didn't want her to think that I was just a giver. I don't want her to ever thought that I was taking the piss, because that's her retirement, and she's worked hard for that money, and she should have that money. And I felt guilty for every month that passed when I got paid and I couldn't give her that money, and now I can, and that to me just shows the importance of knowing that my work is not only helping me and my family, but I'm being true to my word for my mum.
Yeah. And I think, we get one shot in this life, guys. You've got to be happy. I mean, I was so miserable I love travel. Business travel was my world. I worked right up into management. But when you start getting treated like dirt because they have no respect for you, they don't need to respect you, just a member of staff.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it anymore. It's one thing. I'm the most loyal friend, but when people start treating you like dirt, I don't want to know. No. There's no reason for a human being to treat another human being without respect. There's no need for it at all.
And I think that when you mature and you kind of find out exactly, what works for you and what doesn't, and that's in terms of relationship works and all that stuff. It's all about quality, not quantity. So I'd much rather have, a few really valuable people in my life than lots of people that I don't really give a about.
Yeah.
And I think that goes the same for work. It's kind of like you've got to choose what's important and what is really you're passionate about, because life is too short. I think the pandemic has just showed us that life is just way too short to be doing something you're really unhappy doing. Don't do it. Don't give that thing that oxygen when you just don't, if you're not happy.
Yeah. And you build this business up as big as or as small as you want. So if you're happy, let's just say you're watching this and going, actually, I really love my job, but I wouldn't mind earning a bit more pin money so I could go on an extra holiday or whatever.
My nana called it pin money.
I'm going to show me age. I'm I'm a lot older than Jo.
You don't look it.
Oh, bless you, you're so kind. But it's all about the quality of life. So if you're a people's person, you love helping people, you don't have to have lost weight on the one-to-one. Jo's a real good advocate. Jo didn't know about this diet, so she lost her weight. Took her years to lose it, healthy eating. And then she obviously found out about the diet, and she's, you don't live on the products, but you've maintained beautifully.
I do like the fruit and nut, by the way.
She does have quite a lot of the products.
I do have quite a lot.
But she maintains with the products rather than diet. You're not on a diet anymore, Jo, are you?
No. But I am careful, and I like the products. Also, it does help that I'm a really lazy cook, so that helps.
But yeah, it's just amazing, guys. So we're waffling now. We don't want to waffle and make it boring. But honestly, if you have thought about looking at a different business, tap in, guys, because you'll be pleasantly surprised. It could be the icing on the cake. Yeah. Watch this space. So let's watch 6 months time. So where are we now?
January.
28th of Jan. So we're going to put this in the diary, 28th of Jan. Let's check in.
No pressure.
In 3 months' time, and let's just see how she's expanded on her business. Because honestly, this woman, we've talked about this, and I'm just like, just bloody do it. Yeah. Because she's got enough clients to do it.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, if you wait to jump, you'll never do it. So you just got to be pushed.
But I had to make sure that it was safe for her to be pushed. But I pushed her. So it'll be all my fault if it goes wrong.
No, it's not. I've got no plan B. There is no plan B.
It's not going to go wrong. It's not going to go wrong.
I won't let it. Like I love it too much. I love it too much. I love everything that it gives me. I love that it gives me the freedom to be around my kids. I love the satisfaction that I'm getting from supporting slimmers. I'm loving the financial aspect of it. Like everything is just a no-brain win-win situation.
And she's got to meet me as well, which is bonus. But it's true though.
I became a consultant in November before pandemic, hoping I'd give up my full-time job. Unfortunately, being a key worker, I had to give my main job priority. And that's fine. You know what? It doesn't it doesn't all have to happen overnight. You know, you became a consultant in November, and you became a key worker in the pandemic.
Exactly.
So you know, it will all happen in good time. But you know, you just got to focus on what is the priority at the moment, and then once things can hopefully get back to some kind of normality, then you can start to ramp it up again. But don't put yourself under that much pressure. If you've got that focus, then you need to attend to that for sure.
And that is the beauty of this. So I can't see who we're talking to.
Inspired UK.
Inspired UK. Hi. Do you know what? The beauty of this job is that you can run it. See 2 clients, we see 22 clients.
Yeah.
You can run this business how you wish to, and as Joe says, you can tap into it when things slow down. But thank you so much for all your help with us, because being a key worker through the pandemic, I can imagine was absolute hell. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Fazana. I hope I said that right. Fazana.
Oh, Fazana, yeah. But honestly, if you wanted to, touch base, the network, there's some amazing people in the network, so never feel you're alone. The community page is a great page to tap in. If you've got any questions, ask. You know, we will always jump in when we can.
So what I did is that, so say your sensations, my goal is to leave my job by Christmas. So what I did is that I wrote myself a contract. You told me to write myself a contract. So I wrote myself a contract, and I said, right, in 3 months' time, I'm going to resign from my 20-hour-week office job. In order for this to do this, I need to see X amount of clients, and I need to have X amount of profit. And actually, I think I resigned after 20 days after writing that. I was like, no, I'm not waiting till March. Like, I can see it's happening.
We kept talking about it, and I was like, Joe, I don't know what your problem is, what are you worried about? But I mean, obviously we won't go into the nitty gritty of it all, but she just needed a push. And now she's done it, you're buzzing.
Do you know what? I feel like it's such a weight off my shoulders, because while every hour that I was sitting behind that desk at that office job, I was not wanting to be there.
She was miserable.
I just hated it.
I hated talking to her when she was at work.
It was so boring. I couldn't engage in it. There was problem after problem, and I just didn't want to be there. And every hour I was sat behind that desk, I was thinking I could be doing something much better, far more productive, and way more satisfying than doing this. And I was just miserable, and I hated it. And I could see that my business was earning enough money for me to leave, and I just was like, oh, just wait a bit more, and I was like, wait for what? You'll be dead. So I just thought, right, I'm just going to do it.
Exactly. And Laura, you will do it, Mrs. 100%. So you've got to, I mean, I've been doing some mentorship. I do my mentorship with my team, and then I have 4 gems that I'm looking after, which we're not going to disclose their names, and that's exactly what I've said to them is get yourself a contract written down exactly what you want. And I do the same with slimmers. You write down the date that you want to get to goal, and then you work towards it, and if you don't get it, you move the goalposts. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, like the goals can be moved. So, you know, going back to Fazana, who was saying that, you know, you want to, you know, you've become a key worker and that's a priority. Well, that's fine. Like there's no deadline. So you can just keep working to your goal, and your goal is what you will set it. As long they're realistic, aren't they? So if you don't think you can become a full-time consultant in the next 2 months, then don't make it a goal. Think maybe by the end of the year, or start to think about maybe reduce or switching your hours so that your hours are maybe less as a key worker, and you can start. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Being a key worker, lovely. Obviously, there's different areas within the key worker. So, is there any way you can tap in within your business? I was talking to some people last night when I was doing the mentorship. Like if you work in a hospital, tap into the hospital, tap into the staff. Look everywhere you're going, always look for a business opportunity. Yesterday I was in the shop and there was a woman behind me that had a stack full of Slimming World meals. So she was clearly on Slimming World. So as I was pulling my credit card out, and I do this all the time, I accidentally dropped my business card on the floor.
Oh, Nikki, you're so clumsy.
So clumsy, and it, so she could see it, and I purposely left it as if I hadn't seen it. And she's like, "Oh, you've dropped something," and I was like, "So there's always ways around things. Get some samples into your workplace with a business card. You've just got to tap in, and
like all the community notice boards and stuff, on the notice boards around the community hospitals, and if there's any kind of day centres, or even like nursing homes, care homes,
always have your, like today when I'm not in area, I've got some, and I always bring leaflets. So every opportunity I will be walking around here and leaving some leaflets. And that's what another thing you guys can do wherever you are shopping. Leave some leaflets in toilets. So if you go to a pub toilet, I mean, yes, they'll probably bin them, but somebody will see them before they go.
Hopefully not use them as toilet paper.
No, not. Cinemas, going to cinema toilets. Every opportunity, guys, there's always an opportunity. Going into a beautician's and offer, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
So I wear my lanyard whenever I go out, and if I'm going to the dentist or the hairdresser, I always start with, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm running late, I was just with a client." Sometimes I was, sometimes I wasn't, but it just gets the conversation going about, "Oh, what do you do?" And there you go. So you're kind of like doing a not soft sell, but you're just kind of like making sure that you become front of mind when people consider whether they want to go on plan or whether they want to become a consultant. They just think, "Oh, actually, I remember."
And don't be scared. Talk to anyone and everyone, because there will just be that one person you least expect. And and it is a great network. Obviously I've been in the business 17 years. I have the most incredible friends, and I mean really real true friends that I would class. I could tell them everything and they would take it to the grave. And I'd never have met you.
I know,
And we are self-employed, but we're never alone. What have we written now? I'm a teacher in my school. We have a lot of vulnerable children. Oh, bless you. I feel burnt out. So, my lovely, so what I would suggest what you've got to do is write down exactly what you need to earn to leave that job, okay? Literally break it down. And so turn around, let's just say you're on £1,500 a month, okay? I'm just pulling a figure out there. Work out how many clients you would need plus 10. Always have a buffer. And then work out how you're going to get those 10 clients in. And break it down that way, my lovely. There's always a way out. There is always a way out.
And I think the thing is that I think Anthea might have said to me, work when doing those calculations, work out, and it's the difference between absolute must-haves and our luxuries. So if it is a thing of like, I really want to leave my job, I'm absolutely desperate for my job, but I've got this really lovely magazine subscription. It's like, do you need to pay for that magazine subscription? So you have to figure out what is the minimum basics you need to live on versus all the luxuries around that, and then you'll find that there's a good few £100 that we spend easily on stuff that we don't need, but we've just got so used to seeing them. but
subscribe to things, don't we?
Yeah, and it's just like gym memberships, or maybe, you know, if we think about how often we get our hair done, maybe we cut it back down, or our nails, or anything. Just think about, there's stuff that you will be able to have again, but if you really want to change and go and move a different career, you've got to think about your bare minimum costs and not your luxuries.
And also tap into the network that you're in already. Talk to people, ask your friends and family to share your business. Offer cash referrals, you know, pay somebody £20 if somebody buys a month's worth of food and they've given your name out. It's all about networking, guys, but you will get there 100%.
Yeah, the network have been incredible, and there's so much training opportunities out there. You know, whether it's your regionals or head office are putting on, and even things, you know, you can even learn so much by listening to a business opportunity meeting, because there's always guest speakers with consultants who are sharing their journeys of how they came into the business, and just by listening to a few of those, you pick up some really fantastic tips. So, you know, you don't have to spend all day every day. The opportunity is there to take what you need from it. But even just chatting, like, you know, having a really lovely lunch in a really lovely pub with a mate, just tossing around ideas is just really great to learn and grow.
Yeah, and we've learned. I mean, I've learned stuff, and that's what I say. You're never too old in this business to learn something. You know, I never say I know everything, because I certainly don't.
Yeah.
And you're right. Tap into every single meeting that goes on. If you can't, watch the live. If they record it, watch the replays, and just talk to as many people as you can, because it really does pay.
Yeah.
But we'd love to hear back from you, my lovely. So I want you to find us in Facebook, both of us, drop us a hello, we'll add you as a friend, and then we'd love to hear your journey, and maybe you could be a guest on a live that we do.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
So tap into us, lovely. Just find us. I'm Nikki Richardson, Joe Cox. Tap in, find us on Facebook, add us as a friend, and we'd really love to hear how you're getting on in the next 6 months.
Because I think that's it. It's kind of like, you know, having an idea of what you want to do, but when you actually see that written down on paper with a plan, then it becomes real, then it becomes tangible, and then it goes, right, okay, well, I can now action this, and you can break it down, and like using the SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and
tangible.
Oh, God, timely.
Yeah. People use them in all different
smart
ways.
Should we just go smart? We'll get the tea.
But believe in yourself as well. You know, believe that you can make it happen, because you really can, 100%. But if you don't plan, you've got to plan. You really, I mean, listen, I am not IT savvy at all. Everything's done on paper with me. I do use, obviously, computers, but make a plan. You don't have to have 100 A levels, you don't have to have a degree, you just have to be a nice person. You have to be a people's person, and you've got to want to make it happen. I think that's the difference between, you know, I've got a huge team, and this year I decided to do a mentorship with my team, and I started off with 28. And obviously people have dropped out, and you see the ones that really want it, the ones who want to work for it, and then you've got the ones that want it but don't want to work for it, which is their prerogative. You know, we aren't your boss. We don't tell you what to do, but
that's it, isn't it? It's kind of like, if you no one can do this for you. It's the same whether you're on plan as a slimmer. No one can lose the weight for you. You know, if you want to build a business, no one can work hard for you. You've got to want to do it yourself, and you have to want to do it more than anything. And your reasons have to be, well, you know, they're relative to what you want your reasons to be. So it doesn't matter whether I might think they're, you know, not valid or whatever. It's what you believe, and it's what you want. And if you really want to make it happen, you will. And if you start saying it with enough conviction, and that's what I, like, every day I, you know, head office, they gave us those affirmation cards in convention, and every day I pull out one and I repeat it to myself, and I go over it, because I know what my goals are, and I want that goal more than anything, and I'm going to work my butt off to make that happen. And I know that I feel like it will happen.
Oh,
I don't know when.
It will happen.
But I feel that strongly, and I'm so committed. I've never wanted anything so much.
Oh, it will. It is happening. It won't. It's not happening.
Yeah.
It is happening.
Yeah, it is.
You just got to
happening.
grow it even
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
But law of attraction, 100%. See, I'm a mindset coach, and I'm a real woo woo. And I believe in law of attraction. Are you not woo woo?
Well,
I'm getting a bit more woo woo.
Well, I think I just. I'm not woo-woo, but I definitely feel like, in fact, Amy Collins has said, if you love your business, it will love you back.
Yeah.
And I do believe in that, and I know that only if I put myself in a positive frame of mind and I approach every day with a positive mindset, then I know that only things can come out of it, because I refuse to let anything else detract from what I'm trying to achieve.
I mean, listen, we all get down days, of course we do. Law of attraction, they always say be positive. So when you wake up in the morning, so let's just say, and this is on The Secret, wake up in the morning and you go to put your tights on, you put your foot in and you ladder your tights. Now you can take that two ways. You either have a hissy fit and just let it ruin your whole day, or you just accept that it's happened, move on from it. Because if you're positive about that situation, then things aren't good, nothing else will go wrong in that day. But if you start negative and then you get in the car and you look at the time, you go, I'm going to be bloody late for my meeting, then you get caught into traffic. That is because you're attracting all the negativity.
Or what could you do is just like when you go shopping, just buy 2 packs of tights.
You can, but the law of attraction is that you don't get upset about it. That is the key.
Okay. Yeah.
So like when we go in the car now,
Yeah.
it's Friday, the traffic's
Yeah.
going to be hell.
No, it's not.
But we're going to listen to our
Yes, we are.
we're going to listen to our audibles
We
and our
are.
Blinkist.
We are.
So we might be stuck in traffic,
Yeah,
but we're
it's
going
fine.
to actually learn things.
I've got a flask with hot water and a coffee, so I'll be fine.
We'll be sorted.
And my husband's picked up the kids, so I am fine sitting in traffic.
Yeah, but it's all about trying to be upbeat. Listen, I'm not upbeat every day, I can assure you. There are times that I have tantrums, but I know that the days that I'm more positive,
Yeah.
those days are better.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Definitely.
but anyway, we're waffling.
Yes,
so
we are.
listen, thank you so much, and please do tap into us and let us know how you got on. 'Cause
Yes.
we really want to know.
Yes, we do.
And I love this girl with all my heart. I really do. I do. Right, we'll see you later.
Aww.